you were growing up?
But when I come up here, there wasn't no Presbyterian churches that I knew of.
Uh-uh.
But there was Lutheran, so I sent you kids to St. Olaf. On
Downtown Minneapolis?
Yeah, that was. It wasn't far from where we lived. It was up those James Avenue.
Oh, that wasn't St. Olaf. That was
26? Was it up on 26?
yeah, St. Mark's.
Oh, St. Mark.
Yeah.
That was St. Mark's that we
Yeah.
went to. What was it like before and after the women's rights? You know, like what years ago men would tell women what to do and all that, and then after the women's suffrage
Oh, I don't remember that. We just took over. We said that's enough. No,
but
I don't.
do you remember what it was? Did Grandpa ever tell Grandma what to do all the time, and you know what I mean, like they did years ago?
No.
No. What was it like?
Ellie was never home.
What was it like raising the kids back in the?
We just run. We'd stay out to 12 o'clock. They never worried about us. It ain't like nowadays. I never even let John Hardy out of the house till you kids were 5.
All right, we're going to talk about Dad now. Whoopee, huh?
She's sorry.
I'm sorry. How did you meet Dad?
I met him going home from school. His sister lived 3 blocks from our house,
And where was that?
and in New London.
Okay.
And I went to school there. Well, I'd walk home from school, and he'd be out working on the car, shining or something, and we just got talking. And that's how we met.
What was he like back then?
Well, then he was good. I mean, he wasn't a drunk then. He didn't get to be a drunk till Kelly moved in. And Kelly had this job, and then they'd stop after work. Well, because Kelly could do it, he thought he could do it too.
Oh. How did he court you?
Well,
Did
I
you guys
don't know.
go
We
out?
just
and-
went shopping and stuff.
Did you go dancing and stuff?
Yeah,
Lot? Did a lot of dancing.
yeah.
Where did you get married?
Little Falls.
And when did
Reverend Klug.
Reverend Klug, he married you?
Yeah.
When was
We
that?
got married in his house. He had kind of like an archway for a wedding in his house.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we got married.
When was that? March.
March 13th was it 1946, 45? In there somewhere.
Why did you marry Dad?
Well, I thought he was a nice guy. And he treated me good for 3 or 4 years.
Where'd you get your wedding dress?
Well, I had Irene took me downtown, and I got that blue suit, pinstripe suit, and then I bought a hat to go with it with a veil, and I was all spiffed up.
And then, was it a big wedding or a small wedding or?
It was small. It was just Margie and Don,
But
his sister, and her boyfriend at that time. She did marry him though later.
so it was just the 4 of you,
Yeah.
and then
Then Marie had a big supper for
Yeah.
us that night,
like a reception.
but there wasn't hardly anybody
Was
there.
that at a bar?
No, she had it at her house.
Oh, I thought you had a party at a bar up there. No?
That was Phyllis. Ray's sister Phyllis had a bar.
Yeah, I thought you went there
Well, I did.
after the wedding.
Well, I think we went there before the wedding. and then again afterward.
Partied before she got drunk before she got
Yeah,
married.
boy, I never
Didn't
got
know
drunk
what she
again.
was
She
doing.
never did
I
it
was
again.
so sick. I never. Oh,
On your wedding
I
night?
never drank much before, and now I really drank.
What a
less.
honeymoon that was. Drunk on your honeymoon.
Well, I don't know, but I sure was sick.
What was the style like back then? The style of the dresses and stuff that people wore.
Well, there was more slacks. They started making more of them, and more people were wearing them, more ladies. But when I got married, I had 3 house dresses. And remember those house dresses that zipped up the
Yeah.
front?
With the pockets?
Yeah.
Well, I'd wash them and starch them every other day. Because I wanted to look good. But so then I finally got more, but that was the start of the dresses. So,
What was Dad's dad like? Grandpa Engelhart, what was he like?
well, I don't know. We weren't around him that much.
Because you were down here
Yeah,
and he lived in
we
Little
never
Falls.
seen him hardly all them years. Well, we didn't have a car. We didn't go up there, and they never came down here ever.
How did he treat Grandpa?
How did what?
How did Grandpa Fred, Dad's dad, treat Dad?
Well, he treated him all right, but they just wasn't
was-
that loving like
He was. I thought he
nowadays.
was kind of mean to him.
Huh?
I thought he was kind of mean to him, and he.
Well, he was when he was younger. You're talking about, yeah.
Growing
He'd
up.
give Jack. They were doing the chores, and he'd give Jack a lot of money to go drinking and stuff, and he'd give Ray 50 cents.
They go to the movies, and when he give Dad like a nickel, and everybody
Yeah.
else got a quarter or something.
So Dad was pretty ticked about that.
So Dad didn't get loved by his dad at all,
No.
and his mom was deceased.
Yeah, his mom, he died when he was 6. So he never had a mother. But Irene and Marie kind of raised him. So,
How'd you deal with Dad's alcoholism?
yeah, how did I? As best as I could. How's that answer?
How many hairbrushes did you break over his head?
Oh, I just did it that
Or
one.
how many pans did you dent?
Well, probably a couple.
Not enough.
So you talked about when he first started drinking was when Kelly moved in with you
Yeah.
guys, and he'd go to the bar with Kelly.
Yeah. So he thought it was all right.
So when you first got married, he treated you really, really good. He was good to you, and
Yeah.
didn't you guys used to go out
Yeah,
and go down on Broadway and stuff
yeah.
when you were first married? So how did things change over the years?
Oh, he changed toward
So
that drinking.
tell us how he
That
changed.
drinking changed him completely.
He was tough to live with. When I was a baby, was he tough to live with?
And not so much at first.
How did you feel?
Well, he loved you kids. He'd change you and everything.
How'd you feel when you had your first beautiful little girl?
Oh, yeah. How did I feel? Now, that's a wacky question.
Was Dad happy to have a girl, or did he
Yes,
want
he was.
or did he want another boy?
No, he didn't want another boy. He had 2 of them.
So did he help take
But
care
you
of?
know, he wasn't the greatest loving father either. He never hugged a lot. I don't know. We were just raised that way, I guess.
Did he help take care of Ronnie and Gary when they were babies,
Yeah,
and me?
yeah. Yeah, if you were wet, he'd change you. He was good to you kids.
But he started drinking after Gary was born.
No,
When
Had to been after Ronnie was born.
See what Ronnie did to him? It's all about Ronnie. Okay, we're going to talk about your children now. What age were you when you had Gary?
19.
How did you feel when you first got pregnant?
Like I could shoot myself. No, I was
Were
happy.
you scared?
No,
No, you weren't scared? You were happy that you were pregnant?
yeah,
Why'd you have so many kids?
because I loved them all.
When,
Because your father was a sex nut, all right?
You asked the question.
You asked and you got it.
well, didn't they have birth control back then?
No.
Abstinence.
They did.
They did later, and
They had birth control.
no, not pills or nothing.
They used to say if you nursed, if that would.
That don't work, because I tried that, and that's why I got pregnant.
Oh, okay. Didn't work for you, huh?
Yeah.
How did you get
Well,
my?
and that's what happened to Andrea. She thought she couldn't get pregnant from nursing.
Yeah.
But you can.
How'd you get money to feed all? How'd you get money to feed all of us kids?
Well, Dad brought stuff home, and I cooked it. And I canned what I could can. He'd bring fruit and stuff home, and I'd can everything, pickles, everything.
Well, you did laundry and house cleaning and stuff too for Sammy and Irene, didn't you? You got ironing money.
Oh, yeah. I washed and ironed all them years for $4.
And you cleaned their house and stuff too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. That paid for part of our clothes and stuff for school.
Well, I put clothes on lay-by down in Weinberg's.
Then before school started, you'd go get them.
Yeah. Yeah, you were dressed pretty nice.
What was the hardest part of raising us?
Well, it all was hard. Keeping food in the house.
And clothes on our back?
Yeah, it all was hard.
Well, what was your favorite part of raising us?
When we had parties. Or birthdays. I had a lot of.
Playing ball in the park?
And you know what was fun was the North Side picnic
Okay,
and
we'll,
the parade.
we'll get into that.
Down at
What
the
is what's your fondest memories of when we were little?
Well, getting ready for the 4th of July, I'd clean the whole house because Bob and Ruth had come that night and watched from my house.
And when didn't you play basketball with little John?
Oh, yeah.
and,
yeah.
and baseball
Because
in the
he
park?
was kind of there wasn't a lot of kids around that neighborhood when he was growing up. So I loved shooting baskets.
What was the North Side picnic like? Did you like the parade and the bands?
Oh, I loved it. I loved the band. Yeah,
The North High
yeah.
band, when the North High band would come up the street. Oh my! My mom turned into something
Oh, I loved
totally
it.
different.
Yeah, I loved it.
Who's your favorite movie star?
Clark Gable. He was really nice looking.
What's your favorite song?
Oh, Lord, I don't know. I had a lot of. I don't remember.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? If
I
you
would
could,
stay right here.
if you could go to any country,
Oh, I wouldn't go to
any place,
probably
in
Hawaii. I've thought about going there once.
Hawaii. Did you enjoy going to Iowa every summer for a visit?
Yes, I did.
How long did you stay there?
2 weeks every year.
Who did you visit?
I had my sisters would take turns, and there was Aileen and Goldie and Wanda.
And how'd you afford the train down there?
Oh, he give me $15 to spend. They
For-
took care of me
With
down
5
there.
kids for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You got $15.
Then he'd send